Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do some. So let's see, what's the opposite of deep fake? I guess it would be shallow truth. So we can do some shallow truth looking at these markets. And, we were pretty quiet today. A little bit of not even really 27 basis points. That's nothing on the S&P. But I just want to keep focusing on this massive move up in tech and when it's going to start to roll over. But first, I just want to show you some of the other sectors in the market. There's more to the market than tech. Sometimes people seem to forget that. So here's our healthcare sector. This is either the second or third biggest sector. Financials and healthcare kind of switch back and forth. Financials. Oops, sorry about that. Financials, they're breaking their downtrend, but they're still way lower than they were like a month ago. So that doesn't look that great. Industrials, pretty much in the middle of a range. So you kind of get my drift, what we're talking about here. The only part of this market that's really strong, at least in the big sectors, here's that communication services, is tech. And it's being driven just by a few different things, consumer staples. All right, so let's go look at, first thing we want to look at is the sector. It's like the way I do my analysis, I go like, it's like, like those Russian doll things, right? You take one off and then there's another one underneath it and so forth and so on. So I start off with the sectors and then, yeah, it's a pretty big reversal here. And then we look at the industries. Now this red line here is 2 standard deviations above the 20-day moving average. If it gets above that, it's considered by a lot of programs or strategies or what have you to be overbought. You can see it can be overbought for a while. Just because something's overbought doesn't mean it's going to reverse. It could keep going for a while. But we got overbought. That's going to draw on the algos that are based on probability and statistics, because 95% of trading should be within these 2 standard deviations. This is a pretty interesting, what time is it here? All right, so the market's closed. This is a pretty interesting pattern here. So just think about this. The blue team here is in charge, right? They're driving the ball up the field here. And this morning, it looked like it was going to be another up day. Here's today's open, and here's today's close. This open was higher than the prior day's close. So in the morning at, say, 9:35, it looked like it was going to be another up day. But by the close, the sellers came in and really knocked this thing lower. Let's see what the one-day chart looks like. Yeah, so it kind of trended lower all day. All right, let's look at, drumroll, NVDA. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, here's a big reversal. Yeah, now this is what we call the old bearish engulfing pattern. And some people don't understand patterns. They think they're like these like mystical astrological things, which are not. If you look at them the right way, they're just graphical illustrations of supply and demand. So again, the blue team's in charge. They're pushing the ball up the field. It looked like it was going to be another up day, but by the close, look what happened. We got below yesterday's open. So all of the trading today engulfed the trading that occurred between the open and the close yesterday, hence the name engulfing pattern. But let's just think about it. What this actually illustrates. The bulls were really in charge. They ripped it open, or they ripped it higher in the open. By the close, the sellers just came and, wham, just pushed it all the way back. So this isn't the type of stock that's going to go into free fall, I don't think, but you never know. Here's the bottom line, right? You can talk about earnings. You can talk about, whatever, the size of the AI market. The stock is up 70% in 2 months. So I don't know where it's going to be in a year from now or 5 years, but at some point there's got to be some profit taking, and maybe this is the beginning of it. Wow, look at this pattern. Now, I don't know what they call this, but it doesn't really matter what the pattern is called. I guess you could call it a triangle reversal. All that is a trading range, which means the market's in equilibrium. When the market's moving higher, it's out of equilibrium. When it goes sideways, it is in equilibrium. So that a lot of times is the first step or the first stage before the equilibrium goes out of line going back the other way. So some people might call this a rounded top. It really doesn't matter what the name of the pattern is. No one's going to pay you for that. But if you can see that the market's turning, that's what it's that's why we're here. Now, when we have really big moves, the really quick moves up this way, there's a good chance we get a really quick move going down this way. The market just didn't spend a lot of time at the levels in between here. So if they didn't spend a lot of time at those levels, well, there's going to be very few or fewer than usual people who are going to be interested. So there'll be less people who are interested on the way back down that are going to be buyers. See, like here, we get the same things going on. Markets go up and people sell. And after it goes up, they say, damn, I made a mistake. If it ever falls back to the level that I sold at, I'm going to buy my shares back. So remorseful sellers is what creates support a lot of times. You got the same dynamics going on in here, but here you just blast through them really fast. So there's a good chance that we blast back through the other way. And here's an example of that right down here. See, wham. See, we're kind of in a range, kind of trading sideways, and then wham, we go into this big move up, and then we just go right back through those price levels really quick. All right, let's look at Microsoft. This could be a little bit of a topping action here too. Taiwan Semi has also been getting really ripped. Yeah, look at that, man. That's an ugly day. Look, so there's your bearish engulfing pattern there, right? Market's moving higher, moving higher, moving higher. Today at the open, it looked like it was going to be another move higher, and man, this big move lower. This is some pretty negative action. This is like when the traders tell their brokers, just get me the hell out of this. I don't really care about the price. And let's see, AMD. This one's been trending lower. Oh, look at that. Big reversal there. But notice how it stalled out at the level that was support. So here's an example where people buy and then they thought they did the right thing, but eventually the price goes lower. And a lot of them say, I made a mistake. If I can get out at break even on the way up, I will. So remorseful buyers from here, placing sellers over here, make support become resistance. Here, people sell and the market goes lower, but then eventually it goes higher and they say, I made a mistake. If I can buy my shares back, I will at the same price that I sold them at. So when the market drops to there, remorseful sellers placing buy orders could convert the level from resistance to support. Now, pretty interesting today. We have this big, huge move higher. My guess is that some of the money that's coming out of NVDA and some of the other ones with bearish action that we looked at probably went in here. Maybe people are thinking, well, this market's sold off already, so it's due for a rebound. So maybe they're going in here, but look at where it stalled out, right at the level that was support. All right, everyone. So let's just check back in tomorrow because things could get pretty interesting. The vast majority of the market looks neutral to weak, and tech has been driving it along, and now tech might be about to turn over. Then we get a decent move lower. All right. Well, and you shouldn't be. No one wants the market to go lower. Here's your bearish engulfing pattern here. See, it opened at a higher price than the prior day, closed all the way down there. That's one there too. This is one here too. So this one didn't play out because sometimes the price levels are really kind of what drives it. So we got the reversal, but we got back to a level that looked like where there was support. So it kind of held. But anyway, yeah. So make sure you check back in, like us, tell your friends, subscribe, and I will see you. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Or hopefully you will be listening to one of my YouTubes tomorrow. We're not going to have our morning meeting tomorrow, but we'll be back on Monday. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.